Today on Business Intelligence, we talk to industry workers and bosses about how to make it in the building and construction industry.
Hello everyone and welcome to Business Intelligence. My name is Anthony Bafi and today we're going to be exploring the many opportunities in the building and construction industry. This is the industry that's responsible for the building, the maintenance and the refurbishment of our homes, offices, roads, stores, shops and airports. It is incredibly huge and gigantic. In 2013 alone, it contributed a whopping £94 billion to the UK economy. And it currently employs approximately 6% of the entire population. For anyone that is interested in this particular industry, you've got to understand the way it works. We're going to be discussing all these matters in much more details. We'll be speaking to the workers and organizations so that you can find out how you can get in there and also how you can be successful. So stay tuned. Right here in Cambridge Streets in Victoria, and we are here with the founder and CEO of the Legacy Partnership.
Yes.
And we have here Mr. Karim. Hello there, nice to meet you, Mr. Karim. How's everything going?
Yes, very well, thank you very much.
I can see you have a busy day today.
Yeah. We're just starting a refurb.
Fantastic.
And the basement flat over here.
Yeah, about 6 weeks should be the project. That's our aim, to finish it within 6 weeks.
So we can come back in 6 weeks and see.
Absolutely, you'll see. Yeah. You should be able to see a big difference. That'll be. You'll definitely see a massive difference.
I'm looking forward. I'm quite expecting.
Spotlights in here, we've got sockets going in, data points, TV points over there, and these are the guys that work with me.
Is he a good boss?
Yeah.
Good boss, yeah?
Okay, this is Florin, he's the head guy. Okay. He's the main man, he runs the project.
How you doing? Good?
This is Farad, he's one of the trainees, and this is Bogdan, he's one of the workers.
So we just started this job today.
Fantastic.
So hopefully we've got about 6 weeks. We should be all done.
My goodness.
Everything goes well.
Well. Okay. So how did you go about getting this particular contract?
Contracts, generally it's a word of mouth. It's people that know me. I've been in the business for a long time.
How long precisely?
I've been in the business for about coming to about 20 years, about 1992, about 23 years now.
Oh my God.
I started this. So we originally started as electricians and doing plumbing work, and then from that we moved on to small building contracts, and it's just growing from there.
Wow. So if you have to say a little about the building industry, what would you say in simple terms? What is the building industry?
Building industry, I think it's a good industry if you're established.
Oh, okay.
To get established is quite difficult, it's a bit of persevering. And secondly, the most important thing, you have to know what you're doing. Right? I mean, we do have a lot of fly-by-night builders who, unfortunately, they get into the game, but like I said, it's very difficult because if you make little mistakes, it can cost you a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And that's the most important thing, because like I said, one little mistake can probably cost you thousands of pounds. Probably not worth you doing that job, if it's, goes into figures like that. But like I said, as for me getting work, generally word of mouth, there's a lot of people, and I also have contracts that I've had for the last 15, 20 years.
Okay, so you've got repeat customers coming in.
A lot of repeat
Brilliant.
That's right.
And so if I wanted to find out from you, like, let's say somebody is trying to get into this particular industry, what kind of trainings and qualifications do they have to have?
To get into the building industry, first of all, you have to have the right qualifications to get into the building industry. Depending in what field you want to go in, because building industry is huge. It's not just, you've got, from building, plastering, plumbing, electric, it's quite massive.
Okay.
Depending what you want to do, you need to get into that field, you need to work in that field, train in that field, and once you have trained, then you could possibly move forward. Okay. But that would be the best way to go about getting into a building industry. The last thing you want to do is go into a job, be there for about a month and say, you know what, I know how to do it.
No.
Yeah, it don't work like
so
that.
So you think apprenticeship is possibly a way of going about
it? Apprenticeship would probably be the best way to go about it. Okay. But like I said, these days it's quite difficult to get a proper apprenticeship, especially with the way the market is at the moment. The market is extremely commercial. Unlike quite a few years ago, it wasn't, it was more about workmanship than workmanship than trying to turn the works over. Yeah. But these days, what the client wants, they want the jobs in and out as quick as possible.
So exactly, being on exactly what the client wants, what are they expecting? What is the expectation of the client? What do they want from you?
Well, first of all, the client wants a very good job. Okay. Yeah, or the best job you can give them. You need to be able to give guarantees. Okay. The client must be able to contact you at any time, of course, within reason.
Absolutely.
If they have any issue, they must be able to get hold of you. And I think that's quite important for any successful building company, is the actual contractors are available for their clients. I think that's quite important. And yeah, absolutely, the finishing, to give them a finished product to their satisfaction, and give them the guarantee and the paperwork that go with it. That's,
and so, are there points where you found yourself where you finished a particular project and the customer was not satisfied, and how did you go about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we've had a couple, we have had a couple, but no, you just got to do whatever the client wants. If he's not satisfied with something, you've got to go back there, do what it takes to finish the job, to satisfy the client and move it from there.
Okay, brilliant.
There's no way you can find out.
If you had an advice, if you had something that you would want to, tell somebody that out there that wants to get into this particular industry, what would you say they should expect about this industry? What would you say they should know? What exactly would you tell somebody that's trying to get here?
The building industry is a good industry, but you have to persevere.
Really?
Yeah. You can't just go in there and just go back out. It is a difficult industry. If you're expecting, easy come, easy go. That's not going to happen. Okay, it's an industry, maybe you might know, but it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on the industry, and you have to make sure, if you're somebody that can take the pressure, then you can get in the game. It'll be worth it for you.
Absolutely. One last thing, how important is insurance in this industry?
Oh, it's very important, mate. I wouldn't do any jobs without being insured. Yeah. You have to be insured. You've got to have minimum £2 million insurance. You have to. It's, because like I said, anything can happen. You can't see behind the walls what's going to happen. One little, mistake, you've got to make sure that you can cover yourself as a client.
Okay. So there you have it. We've been with Mr. Kareem, the founder and CEO of Legacy Partnership. We hope you learned something from this particular segment. Coming up on Business Intelligence, we delve into the world of building and construction and explore the many opportunities for growth and success in that growing industry.
St. James Design Interiors is a renovation company specializing in interior design. The company have worked on residential and commercial properties across London, performing a wide range of services including tiling, painting, carpentry, plumbing, and much more. The company was started more than 10 years ago by James Woodham. It was initially a tiling company doing bathrooms and kitchens, but thanks to a solid team, a happy client base, and James's passion to see the company advance, they soon expanded and began to offer more and more services. He works with a team of over 25 subcontractors, all of whom are skilled, trained, and committed to producing excellent results. Above all, James believes that customer satisfaction is the greatest source of success in building and construction. Hi there, we're here with James Woodham, the founder and CEO of St. James Design Interiors. We found out a bit about what the company does, and now we're just going to hear a bit more about how to get involved in the building industry and some of the implications that are involved. So James, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Isabel.
Glad to have you. You know, just first of all, just to get a bit more of a background, how much experience and knowledge of the industry did you have when you entered?
None. I had none. I wanted to start a small business, just doing some tiling work in bathrooms and kitchens, and I learnt how to tile and then started from there. And 13 years now, I don't look back. I've just expanded, and a few years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I took my hands off the tools and realised that the company was growing in the right direction, and I needed to make sure that I was in the office and I was going around meeting the clients a lot more, and actually hiring the subcontractors to come in and do the actual projects themselves, and we just project manage the job.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. So you switched from doing the jobs yourself to just managing and overseeing.
I think right from the beginning, I always knew that to run a business like this, you have to have a firm understanding as to what to expect from the tradesman, and what the clients expect from the tradesman as well. And because I've had the background and I've worked in the industry on the tools, I know now what to expect from both sides.
That's
great. How we can deliver now.
Yeah, very efficient, wonderful. Okay, so you mentioned knowing the jobs and knowing what tradesmen have to do. What would you say are some of the other essential qualities for starting this sort of business?
Well, you have to have a lot of patience and determination. I think never give up. You will be knocked a few times, but every time you get knocked, that's just part of experience. And you can only get better by going through that and coming out the other side. You just need to have a lot of courage to go through it, and actually see in the direction that you want to go, and be positive. Definitely,
great advice. Yeah, you talk about, for example, you mentioned you'll experience knocks, you'll have setbacks, challenges. One of the things a lot of people go through sometimes is perhaps there's issues with building work. Something doesn't go to plan, something malfunctions, they have to be called back. What are some of the ways that builders and building managers can protect themselves from legal fallouts, and what are some of the legal requirements in building?
Definitely in building, you need to start right from the beginning and have enough adequate insurance to cover you. And it can be quite misleading, because if anyone is starting up a business in building, there is lots of fixed costs that you have to take into account, and not necessarily is it appealing to go for the most expensive insurance, and insurance is expensive. So some people have tended to go for a lower amount of cover, and it's not the way to go, because you're not covered enough, and if something does happen, then the insurance company will not pay out. And it's just quite misleading starting a business again and going to properties. Property value in London is huge, and it's not always necessary. When you look at the property, you wouldn't think that it's worth that much. So it's always good to every time before you start the project, call the insurance company up and make sure you do have the adequate amount of cover. Health and safety, go onto a health and safety course, know exactly what type of personal protective equipment you need to have on site, or what your staff have to have, and public liability insurance as well. That's always good. You definitely have to have that.
Wonderful, yeah, that's great. Okay. I imagine, you know, as a renovation and building company, you work on various types of jobs with a variety of different clients, maybe corporate, maybe residential, large and small projects. What, you know, in terms of size and in terms of the kinds of people you meet, what would you say are some desirable qualities in a customer, and how would you attract them?
Desirable qualities within a customer. I think they need to have an understanding that if they want a good job, then it takes time. And if they're renovating their house, if they're having a bathroom being renovated, then you have to go through so many stages before you actually start the job, just to make sure that everything is in the right place at the right time, and the right tradesmen come in at the right time. So I think just having an understanding, have the right amount of understanding about how much budget you need to allocate to the project. Do a lot of research and find out how much things cost, and try to, and it's very difficult, but try to have the trust in the building company that you're employing, and have the confidence in them that they can deliver. Check out all of their reviews, make sure that they're the right person to employ, but it's mostly about trust.
Yeah. Okay, great. So if you're a building company, then you want people who will be understanding, taking into consideration the time it will take and the cost and all those things. And if you're a customer, then you know you should look for people who are trustworthy and well rated.
Definitely.